Welcome to the Lifetime Assembly channel. My name is John, and today I'm going to help you assemble your 8x15 outdoor storage shed. Before you get started, make sure the model number of your shed is in the description below. This video will follow the steps outlined in your assembly manual that comes with the shed, so if you've already begun and need help on a specific step, check the comments or description below for a timestamp associated with each step. Your shed comes on a pallet in 3 different boxes, so let's take a look at what you should have received. There are steps within this assembly that require more than one person, so be sure to have at least one other adult available to help. Before we begin the assembly process, let's take a look at the tools you'll need to complete the job. You'll need a 7/16 wrench, a 3/8 wrench, an adjustable wrench, a rubber mallet, a box cutter, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, needle nose pliers, a hammer, safety glasses, a ladder, a drill. You may see us use an impact driver. If you decide to use one as well, be sure not to over torque or over tighten the hardware, a 5/16 wood drill bit, and a 5/16 masonry drill bit. To make this easier, we're going to use a 7/16 socket, a 3/8 socket, a socket adapter, a Phillips bit, a pair of vice grips, and a block of wood. All Lifetime sheds require a platform to be built on. We recommend building yours from concrete, but you can also build one from lumber. It's crucial that you refer to your assembly manual to review the safety instructions for this build to prevent serious injury or property damage. Alright, let's get started.
Hacer clic en la esquina inferior derecha de este video para ver los subtítulos en español.
Section 1 will go over the requirements for the foundation of your shed. This video will focus on the assembly of the shed and not the foundation, so if you have any questions, refer to Section 1 in your manual or call customer service. Align the holes at the end of the gutter channels with the holes in the connector. Connect the gutter channels to the connector with the hardware. Be careful not to over tighten the cap nuts, you don't want them to break. Slide the truss brace onto the gutter channels, making sure to line up these 2 holes. Secure with the hardware, but do not over tighten, and make sure that the cap nut is on the outside of the truss. I like to use a small Phillips bit inside some vice grips to make tightening the hardware easier. Slide a truss rod through the truss brace and the connector, and then secure with the hardware. Be careful not to over tighten the hardware. You'll know when the truss rod is tight enough when it doesn't wiggle. Repeat the previous steps 4 more times for a total of 5 truss assemblies. Take the set of gables that don't have a curve at the bottom and overlap them in the middle to line up the holes for the hardware. Secure the gable halves together with the 4 screws. Align the holes in the screen with the holes in the vent. Then place the vent on the front side of the gable and secure with the hardware. Add an end cap to each end of the square tube. Align the holes in the tube with the divots on the gable, making sure that the dimples are facing down. Secure the square tube to the gable with the hardware. Take the 2 gable halves with the curve at the bottom and overlap them in the center. Secure the 2 gable halves together with the hardware. Attach the screen and vent to the gable using the same method as the first gable. Place an end cap into each end of the square tube. Align the holes in the square tube with the divots on the gable, making sure that the dimples are facing down and that the dimple on the square hole is facing towards you. Start by securing the square tube to the gable with the center hardware. Finish securing the square tube to the gable through the remaining oblong holes. Insert a hinge tube into the round hole on the door with a Lifetime logo. Before sliding the door end channel on, make sure that the 2 holes on the door end channel line up with the notch on the door. You'll also notice there's a slight curve in the door end channel. That is by design to help the doors have a more secure fit. Place a deadbolt into the cutout at the bottom of the door oriented like this. Slide the door end channel into the groove and over the deadbolt on the door. Place a deadbolt into the notch at the top of the door and then finish sliding the door end channel up. Slide the strike plate over the holes in the door end channel oriented like this. Secure the latch over the strike plate with the hardware, making sure it's oriented like this. Connect the door handle to the door with the hardware. Just like on the other door, slide the hinge tube into the circular hole at the top of the door. Similar to the first door, you're going to line up the holes on the door end channel with the notch on the door and then slide it on, except this time you won't need deadbolts. Push the thumb lever into the door handle until the nubs rest in the holes. Connect the handle to the door with the hardware. Attach a latch to the door end channel with the hardware oriented like this. Attach the bracket and the spring to the door latch assembly. With the help of another person, connect the floor panels by lifting one panel up, interlocking the tabs, and then laying it back down. The door can go on either short edge, but we're going to put our door on this edge, so go ahead and add your bushings in the circular holes. Secure the floor together by inserting a screw through the divots on the edge of each floor panel. On all the wall panels labeled AHD, add a wall support to the channel just to the left of the cutout at the top of the wall panel. Make sure that the end of the support that has the two holes closer together goes at the top. On the window panel, add a short wall support to the channel just to the left of the center of the window. This hardware will need to be inserted at an angle. On the corner wall panel labeled AGY, add a wall support to the channel closest to the right edge. Make sure the end of the wall support that has the two holes closest together is at the top. On the corner wall panel labeled AGN, add a wall support to the channel closest to the left and make sure that the two holes on the end of the wall support are at the bottom. Take the corner wall panel labeled AGY and slide the tabs at the bottom into these slots. Slide the panel over to lock it into place. I'm comfortable kicking the wall panel over with my foot. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can use a rubber mallet and a block of wood. Push the wall panel away from the corner, bend the panel in half, line up the tabs with the slots, and then apply downward pressure to lock it into place. Take a wall panel labeled AHD, place it next to the corner wall panel, then slide the tabs into the cutouts and push the wall panel up against the corner wall panel. On all the wall panels, before securing them together, make sure that the line at the top is even with each other before you add the hardware. Continue adding wall panels down this edge of the floor. You can add a window panel anywhere a regular AHD wall panel will go. We're going to put ours right here. On this corner, add the corner wall panel labeled AGW using the same method as the first corner. Add two wall panels labeled AHD to the back edge of the floor. Add the corner wall panel labeled AGL to your third corner using the same method as your first two corners. On this edge of the floor panels, add the remaining walls labeled AHD. Add the final corner wall panel labeled AGN to this corner using the same method as the last 3 corners. There are 3 height settings for your shelf. Decide which one you want. We're going to put ours in the middle, so add your shelf brackets to the cutouts on the wall supports. Take your shelf and fold the flaps on each end up. Place the shelf onto the brackets, making sure the edge with the notches goes against the wall. Secure the shelf to the walls and shelf brackets with the hardware. With the help of another person, slide the hinge tube of the left door into the bushing, making sure that the hole at the bottom of the hinge tube lines up with the slot in the bushing. Insert a cotter pin through the hinge tube and bushing, then expand the cotter pin with needle nose pliers to lock into place. Repeat the same process for the right door. Close the doors and place the gable with a curve in it onto the hinge tubes. With the help of another person, align the holes in the gable with the divots in the wall and secure with the hardware. Next to the hinge tube at the top, you'll notice these 2 divots. Add the gap flap, oriented like this, and secure with the hardware. Repeat for the opposite side. Add a truss assembly to the notch at the top of each wall panel. With the help of another person, lift a roof panel over the gable and into the gutter channel of the truss. You'll know the roof is in the correct position when the alignment nub is in the notch on the truss. Secure the roof panel to the wall panel through the 4 holes at the top of the wall panel. Secure the roof panel to the gable and the truss through the lower 2 set of holes on each side. Place a roof support into the notch on the gable and the cutout on the roof. Secure the roof panel through the remaining 3 holes. Add a roof panel opposite the previous roof panel using the same method as before. Following the same steps as before, add 4 more trusses and 8 more roof panels. With the help of another person, lift the rear gable into position and secure with the hardware. Add the final 2 roof panels to the gable and truss using the same method as before. Starting at the front of the shed, we're going to add our roof cap labeled AGG, place it over the gable and the 2 roof panels, and secure with the hardware. Start adding center roof caps down the length of the shed, making sure to overlap the previous roof cap and secure to the roof panels and the truss. Fold your skylight panel in half, go through the roof, align the holes, and secure with the hardware. Repeat the previous step for the 5 remaining skylights. Remove the plastic film from both sides of the window. Slide the window into the window channel, making sure that the lip is facing out. Insert the screw at the bottom of the window. Add the window locking bracket to the top, making sure they can still move freely. You'll notice throughout your shed you've got these cutouts. These are for your wall hooks. You can place your wall hooks anywhere these cutouts are. If you're having a hard time getting your doors to line up, follow this link here to see a video on how to properly align your doors. Since we're inside, we're not going to be able to anchor our shed, but it's important that you do. So refer to your instruction manual in section 14 to see how to properly anchor your shed. Thank you for watching this video on how to assemble your lifetime 8x15 outdoor storage shed. If you found this video helpful, give us a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service team and check out our other awesome products at lifetime.com.